Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Dragon Warrior 2 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Last episode, Prince Hermes and his cousin Prince Orfeo got their final party member, their cousin Princess Ollisa. So I grinded Ollisa up to level 6. She got 2 spells. She got the Inferno spell at level 3, and then she got the Surround spell at level 6. Those 2 spells are going to be very, very important for the upcoming dungeon that we're about to go to. Surround surrounds the enemy and cuts down their accuracy for physical attacks. And the Inferno spell is kind of like the Fireball spell, but it hits an entire group of enemies. So that'll help us get rid of some of those enemies that like call for backup, like those ghost rats. So, now the dungeon that we're going to go to is the Tower of Wind. There's that one villager in this village who said that there's a cloak that allows you to survive from great falls. Actually, what the cloak does is, when you fall out of a tower, you normally only fall one space away from the tower. So, if you fall off the top of the tower, like the north end of the tower, you'll appear on the world map 1 square north of the entrance to the tower. With the Cloak of Wind, if you fall from a high enough floor, you'll actually travel up to 3 spaces away. And we're going to need that to cross a river coming up. If we would have went through that one shrine where that person said, hey, you can't go through until you help the Prince of Moonbrooke. If we went through there, we'd end up in this tower called the Dragon Horn, and you climb to the top of it, but there's no bridge across the river. So what you have to do is you have to climb that tower, don the Cloak of Wind, and then jump out of the tower, and then you basically like float down like a parachute. You can cross the river. So there's a dead end. We need to get this cape to cross that dead end. We've got some new enemies along the way here. These baboons, a good thing to use against them is the sleep spell. These guys hit really, really hard. So you want to try to get them to not attack you by putting them to sleep. They're pretty susceptible to sleep. They're also pretty susceptible to the Surround spell. So using both of those spells on them is a good idea. Luckily, Hermes got some level ups and he has that steel sword, so we can pretty much one-shot them. And then if they concentrate their attacks, Orfeo and Ollisa may be able to finish one off. Orfeo with his attack, and then Ollisa concentrating with the wizard wand to cast the fireball spell. So, but yeah, these are probably some of the tougher enemies in the area here. Like I said, they hit really hard. And hey, they got some treasure. Another club to sell. I got, some of them dropped a club earlier, that's why I was able to sell the club at the beginning of the episode. So, look. Most of the enemies here are just the same ones that we were encountering around Hamlin. You got like the dragonflies, you got the centipods, and here's another new enemy, the Magidrake. You're going to see the effectiveness of the Inferno spell here coming up. You can target an entire group, but it's going to hit every single one of those Magidrakes. Magidrakes on their own ain't too difficult. What makes them difficult is that they want to cast this defense spell, and that cuts down on your character's defensive power. So if they're with like a heavy hitter, like a baboon, who hit hard as is, having them decrease your defense and having the baboon hit you would cause you a lot of damage. So the Inferno spell is going to be really good against taking them out. So there's the swamp where we got the Mirror of Ra. Now on the opposite side of the mountain here. Inferno is also pretty good to take care of stuff like the healers over there. So you can have Ollisa cast the Infernos on the healers, and then have Hermes and Orfeo concentrate on the zombie. Luckily the healers are going kind of before us, so they're not healing the damage that we did to the zombie. So that one had decent magic resistance and the spell didn't work on it, but hey, we got 2 of them out of the way, so that's can't complain there. See, now you can see how effective that wizard wand is. The Wizard Wand will be available for purchase in the next town, but you get so much good use out of it before you get to that town from winning it in the lottery that it's worth, you know, those few minutes to, you know, do that save scumming and rigging the lottery in your favor. It definitely gives the princess something to do because otherwise, you know, the weapon she had, that bamboo pole, basically does like no damage. It only gives like +2 attack power. You can buy a knife for her that gives her a little bit more damage, but even then, she's not going to be doing much damage. When I was grinding and level her up, before she got the Inferno spell, basically what I had her do was basically parry, similar to what I had with Orfeo, where I just, Hermes concentrated on taking out the enemies, and then Orfeo just parried. Same thing here, I just let Hermes and Orfeo take out the enemies, while Ollisa parried. Parry, once again, cuts down all damage taken by your character by half. So, once again, we got these lizard flies. They fall to the Inferno spell, another good use for the Inferno spell. But you also want to have Orfeo cast the stop spell, just to be safe, because they're the ones who can spam that fireball on you. And we don't want to be wasting our MP on healing. Orfeo got another spell, the Outside spell. That just like in the first game, it takes you outside of a dungeon. So this tower here, this first chest that we're gonna get is a medical herb. If you want to like farm medical herbs, you can just get the herb, leave the tower, and then come back in. Because remember, when you leave a dungeon and come back in, the treasures reset. So you can just, you know, stock up on herbs. But we're not really going to do that. We're just going to grab the herb right here. And then we're going to head up. Now there's a staircase that we passed on the left there and then up to the north here. Those just, all of them lead to a dead end eventually. The staircase we want to take is over kind of on the side of the wall. Gotta be careful though, like I said, well, a guard's about to tell us that on the next floor, but you want to be slow when you're walking around the edges, because on the first floor, of course, if you step off the edge, you're going to be teleported outside the dungeon. In the same in the upper floors, there's no walkway, there's no guardrails. So yeah, OSHA, the Occupational Safety Health Administration, Occupational Safe and Healthy Administration, yeah, they would not be happy with the builders here in the World of Dragon Warrior. Because there's no safety on these towers, you can fall right off. So, and then of course you'd have to restart the dungeon all over again. So, now another spell Ollisa starts with right away is the Heal War spell. It costs 5 MP to cast, but it basically is like almost double, a little more than double the effectiveness of the heal spell. So, for your magic point wise, it's a better casting. Take care that thou stray not over the tower's edge. Yep, no guardrails for us. That's the treasure chest we want to go to, so we're going to have to backtrack down. I'll point out when we have to do that. But here's a unique little group. We have the new smoke enemy. We got that one on the way here. They're pretty easy. Pretty much you can one-shot them. So nothing really to worry about them. So, and the ghost mouse is an old foe. Wouldn't bother us much. Unfortunately, though, Hermes just got hit with the surround spell, so he's going to be a little less accurate than normal, but still a flip of the coin. So, but luckily, it didn't affect Orfeo, and it wouldn't affect Ollisa at all because she's never really going to be attacking. Because Jehu using that wizard wand is much more effective than her attack will ever be. So yeah, the fight command on her is pretty wasteful. Unfortunately, she doesn't have a lot of spell points right now, so she can't be, you know, casting her spells willy-nilly. So that's why this wizard wand is so effective to have right here. Use one of those herbs that we just found. Orfeo needs some healing. Get some money here in this chest. we're gonna have a lot more shopping to do in the next town. Those dragon bands are gonna be come available, and like I said, those increase your resistance to stop spell and sleep. So we're gonna take this first path. There's another staircase over to the right. It just leads to a dead end, but I'm going to go to that way anyway just to show off. There's an empty treasure chest there. In the Game Boy Color remake, I have the strategy guide, got it off Internet Archive. In the Game Boy Color remake, you'd actually want to go up to the top because the treasure chest isn't empty, it has the wizard's ring in it. The wizard's ring is something that you can win in the lottery. That's the prize for the 3 stars. 3 waters get you the dragon bane, so we could theoretically win some prizes at the lottery. We got a few more tickets, but I'm not going to do that because, you know, I'm just going to go as if you didn't really play the lottery and cheese it. So I just think there's so much benefit to cheesing it that one time, but any other cheesing is not necessary. So if you were to take those first 2 steps that we passed up on the first floor, they eventually would lead to that area right there with the 4-way stairs there, and they all just lead to a dead end. Of course, this is going to lead to a dead end too. So, but we want to get all the treasures, so 100% and everything. Yeah. Now remember these ghost rats? We fought them early in the last episode. They were really, really tough because they kept calling for help, and we couldn't take them out in time. But right now with the Inferno spell, if we get a good enough roll, we can finish them off by the spell itself, and then Hermes and Orfeo could pick them off. So they have a 12.5% chance to drop that medical herb, so that's good. Yeah, see all those dead ends there. And then we get to the top here, and we just search, and unfortunately the treasure chest is empty. Now I'll show off, see if we got into a fight here. If we just drop off the edge of the tower, we end up 1 block above the tower. So now if we have the Cloak of Wind equipped, you don't equip the Cloak of Wind like you do your regular equipment. You think you would because it's like a piece of clothing. You do it like you do the Dragon Scale and the Fighter's Ring in the first game. You just select out of your items in your inventory, and then that puts you on. Now I didn't climb high enough up the tower to fall off far enough to show that you can float up. You can end up almost basically up to the second mountain up there. But Orfeo has some spell points left, so we'll cast a return spell. Still want to carry that Wing of Wyvern around though, just in case Orfeo did use a whole bunch of spells and didn't have enough spell points to cast that return. So, alright, sleep here at the inn. Got a pretty decent amount of gold there. Of course, we're gonna pretty much spend that all at the next place. And still need more. There's some good armor for the prince and the princess there, for Orfeo and Ollisa in the next town, in addition to getting 3 of those dragon banes. So, but that's it for now. So let's save our game, and then we're going to head over into that shrine, cross now that we've saved the princess, and see what the rest of the world awaits us in the next episode. Take care, have a good one, thanks for following along, bye.